Today's Wednesday, May 18th, 2016. You know what time it is.
You're tuned in to the Elevator Radio Show, a weekly program dedicated to covering news and information on elevators, escalators, and moving walkways. Produced in the wee hours of the morning, a new show is uploaded every Wednesday, sometimes even before you get out of bed. Listen to some of the comments sent in from our audience.
Rob from New York writes, Tom, are you f***ing insane? You actually get up at 2 a.m. each Wednesday to put this show out? Man, you must love elevators. Tim from Illinois writes, I'm not sure why I listened, but ever since I tuned into the first show back in 2007, I've been addicted. Matt in Texas writes, I like your safety messages, Tom. It's important to remember them each and every day. And he also adds,
when am I going to win the monthly prize pack giveaway?
Ron from California sent this in. Despite your inability to pronounce words in the English language, I tune in each week and am glad that you offer this service to the industry. It's better than Google News alerts. Sarah from Washington writes, love the show, Tom, and look forward to it each week. I'm glad I signed up for the newsletter. You provide a valuable resource for the industry, not only for North America, but worldwide.
Enjoy the show. And now, here's your sleep-deprived host, Tom Seibert.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Yes, I am sleep deprived this morning. So sleep deprived that this is take number 2 on the program after I spilled an entire cup of coffee into my lap. Look at this. If you're watching the video, look at my freaking pants. Look at this whole... I could not believe it. And you know what was crazy? I watched the blooper reel in terms of like the first 2 minutes of the show. And I'm like, I put the coffee cup right in front of me and then just went whack. Whack. Jeez. Anyway, so after the show, I'm going to have to run home and get a clean pair of pants because it looks as if I had an accident, which I don't mind, but I think, I don't know, coffee with cream, I'm going to be sticky all day long, which I don't want. So anyway, it's good to be here this Wednesday morning. We're doing the show regardless of pants being soaking wet and a keyboard full of coffee. And it is good to be here. We've got a shorter show today, which is totally fine. And just kind of reiterates the importance of safety, the importance of making sure your safety programs are in place. You're doing what you have to do to ensure that OSHA doesn't ring your doorbell and say, hey, listen, I'm going to send you or going to cite you for not complying with whatever safety measures are supposed to be in place. Because once that happens, you're pretty much screwed. So make sure safety is your number one priority in each and every day that you are working, each and every day that you're working with clients who may not understand the importance of how their equipment needs to be safely maintained and brought up to code, et cetera, et cetera. So make sure that you do all of that. Hey, tomorrow is the second annual Chicago Elevator Association fundraiser. I want to thank those companies who have already put their hats in the rings to donate. Those that are attending, we greatly appreciate that. It's going to be another successful event. Participation isn't huge, but the dollar amount is nice to see. So thank you so much to those companies. I'll have more to cover on next week's show. And anybody who's interested in checking that out, I do have a link in the show notes. So go ahead and check that out. As always, if you want to comment, question, tune in, whatever, go over to the Facebook page and do a search for Elevator Radio Show. Do a like thing on that, and then you can kind of post your commentary. I always enjoy hearing what people have to say and regarding the articles that are posted up there each week. So, man, it's hard to believe that after this weekend, the weekend after is Memorial Day. Man, did that just sneak up on us quickly, it seems like, in some ways. It'd just be nice to have some warmer weather, and hopefully your neck of the woods, it is warmer, but not too warm. So anyway, we'll get into the news next, and as always, feel free to comment over on the Facebook page or on the website over at elevatorradioshow@gmail.com. Up next, news, and we'll have you out of here pretty quick.
Let this week's news stories give you a lift on what's happening in the vertical transportation arena. Each news segment is organically dug and fresh with news stories of the week. Got lift? If not, stay tuned.
Okay, I found this image that I posted on the blog post. I thought was very important to share because if we have to get to the point where we're putting signage like this, I know this isn't code compliant, but really, if we need signage that says please stay within the yellow box, then, probably a good idea. Maybe we need to start looking at how to educate people a little bit better than what we've been doing because Seems like it would make sense if people aren't getting the message. Okay, as I mentioned earlier, second annual scholarship fundraiser is being held tomorrow night. It is not too late to register. It's not too late to sponsor, although at noon Central Standard Time today, it will be too late to sponsor. So if you're interested to get over there, and that's May 18th, in terms of sponsorship deadlines. And again, it goes to a good cause. The committee is currently looking at scholarship applications from last year, and that's pretty cool. Those of you who are attending the Pop Joe outing in New York, have a great time. Congratulations, Doug Witham, for being the honoraria. That is not a word, I know that. The honoree, there we go. For this year's event, Doug, congratulations and enjoy your day. Very cool that you are being highlighted the way that you are. First news article coming from BostonGlobe.com is highlighting moms that are in the construction industry. And one of those moms who is hard at work, if I can close this stupid thing down, there we go. Love the pop-ups. Is elevator constructor. Where is she? I just read it. Let's see here. And by the way, I love seeing women in construction or in contracting. Elevator mechanics are awesome. Here we go. Tabia Gustav, and she is a single. She's not. She's a mom, I should say. She is working in the elevator and escalator construction industry, and I have to say that women in our industry have not had it easy over the years, and hats off to all of you who have been, pulling your weight, same way the men do, in addition to raising kids on the side, because both of those are not easy tasks at all. Okay, Washington Monument reopens after elevator outage again. I don't think this is going to be the first time that we've heard about the elevator at the Washington Monument, and I don't think it's going to be the last time, unfortunately. But unfortunately, what happened was it broke down, and people were caused to use the stairs. And when that happens, they do have to shut it down. But yeah, I don't know if these were the same types of issues if they had any issues before they did the elevator modernization. But obviously, if it was an old enough elevator, it may not have had as many safety items that would make sure that people were safe. So anyway, I don't have a whole lot on that. That's just my assumption. Okay, county faces hefty bill for elevator upgrade, the Athens Messenger reports. And then this is basically a recap of a board meeting where a rough cost of $300,000 to upgrade elevators in the county buildings in Athens County was shared with commissioners on Tuesday. Charlie Brown, not to be confused with the Peanuts character, county buildings and ground supervisors said that the elevator contractors indicated that 3 elevators are basically obsolete and that company can't guarantee that parts will be available if there is a breakdown. It's mainly electronic stuff. The elevators are located at the courthouse, and they were installed in the 1990s. Yikes. Yeah. Anyway, they seem to have found $100,000 in the budget, and then the $200,000 would be found later on down the road. But yeah, 1990s. It's unfortunate that equipment doesn't last any longer than that. But the reality is that microprocessors, PLCs, the life on those are not that long. And even when you do have legacy equipment that there are upgrades to, the upgrades the improvements may not be compatible with what is already there. So yeah, kind of not so good. Okay. Next news article, take safety seriously. I didn't link anything more in this article to kind of tie stuff with it. Construction companies fined $34,500 in fatal elevator collapse in Somerville. Wicked Local reporting. I do not want to watch this ad. Love the pop-up ads. I will close this out, let everybody read this on their own. But again, make sure your safety program is in place. It's being practiced so that if in any event somebody comes along, you have everything. You've got your OSHA 10 form posted. You've got your safety meeting logbook with people that signed in, stuff like that. Make sure that each day is a safe day so that you can not only avoid any kind of accident, but fines that go along with that as well. So contractor as well as the elevator company was fined in that situation. Companies contesting federal citation, dailystar.com. This is the tragic death that occurred at the nursing home in New York. And again, you've got a situation where the elevator contractor is being fined by OSHA for $35,000. It doesn't really say necessarily what goes into it. I'm sure that the incidents are in the report. Usually it's per incident, and there's probably like 5 or 6. Anyway, I'm sorry. I gotta get a wipe. Everything is sticky on my desk. Anyway, so again, doesn't bring the person back, obviously, and they might be able to get that amount dropped down if they negotiate. But the reality is they're going to end up having to pay something. Lawyers are going to probably make just as much. And if you can prevent anything like this happening, it's generally a good idea to do so. So if you could find that OSHA report, check out, see what the violations were, and ensure that you are not making those same violations every day. Let's see here. And the company is contesting the violation, which is the natural response. Next article is also regarding the same accident where the family is suing outside in, I believe, civil court. Let's see here. Yeah, they're suing the elevator contractor. Anyway. Oh, no, it's suing the nursing home for not ensuring a safe work environment. And again, when you think about it, man, I mean, I know that the responsibility ultimately falls on the elevator owner. That's just it. That's the way the cookie crumbles. All right, so suing the nursing home, this is the issue that I have, and I don't see any fault in the nursing home not being responsible. But when you have to prove that there's negligence be above and beyond where the nursing home knew of the deficiencies, okay, knew about them in writing, and decided not to do anything about them. That's the reality here. So what's going to happen here? There might be a settlement. There may not. I don't know. It depends on how good the attorneys are. It depends on how the insurance company is set up, whether or not the policy is huge, all that good stuff. But the reality is that if you are maintaining or you're working on equipment on your route, or if there's a job that's basically within your book of jobs where it's unsafe, the contractor knows or the building owner knows it's unsafe, get all that in writing. You know what? I mean, at the end of the day, none of us want to lose a job, but the reality is there's some jobs that are worth losing, or at least walking away if the building owner does not want to make the proper steps to make sure that elevators are. And I'm talking beyond inspection stuff like that. I'm talking about, and this is a good article definitely to share with any email or whatever you'd like to do. And I just posted Now It Gets Uglier. So, yeah, again, the attorney's going to walk away with most of the money that any award might have, and it's going to take forever because Otis has a lot of, or the elevator company, I should say, alleged, has a lot of attorneys, and they will fight. Actually, it has nothing to do with Otis. Let me just strike that from the records. The nursing home has nothing to do with Otis. I'm sorry. Just forget that completely. The nursing home, and it is the family of the man who died. The reality is a terrible tragedy, and make sure that you're practicing safety each and every day. That's number one. That's just remember that, okay? Okay, next news article, yard sale proceeds to benefit elevator fund. And nice to see that there is a yard sale that benefits a fundraising for an elevator. It's coming from Dawson Springs Progress. Hopefully they raise a lot of money. I don't know how much they're going to raise. It's going to take probably quite a while to actually to get the money needed to do that. Okay, next article is actually a recap of a woman who had fallen in between some escalator stairs in Singapore, and thank God. I mean, luckily she was not, she wasn't killed, but she was definitely, man, her life changed forever. So you want to read about that? Link is in the show notes. She's lucky to be alive, to be honest with you. So this happened in Singapore. There are quite a few articles that bad articles that actually happened in different parts of the country. Okay, next news article. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get through this stuff before a certain time. Okay, next article. Escalator accident in mall leaves 6-year-old boy wounded. This, again, not happening here in the United States. I believe it's the Philippines. Sunstar.com.ph reporting. Apparently a boy who is still unidentified was traveling on an escalator with his mother, when the incident happened. Apparently the victim allegedly stumbled and fell on his stomach, causing his clothes to get snagged on the escalator. So she's okay. I mean, he's going to be okay, but he was hurt. So just, good reminder. Common sense really needs to play, and unfortunately, it just sounds like it was a unfortunate accident. International accident kills boy. Jewish boy killed in elevator in Antwerp, which I believe is a city in Europe somewhere, but not good. I don't know how a 2-year-old, 2 years old, you're barely walking. So I don't know if there's an issue with the door reversing devices, if there was one on there, but apparently the boy's pants got stuck by the door. Elevator went back down. It sounds as if the boy somehow was pulled in. I don't really know what happened, but it's awful. Awful tragedy. Make sure you perhaps think twice about riding elevators or escalators in different countries that don't have any kind of safety code in place, because it's kind of like the Wild Wild West to some extent. So, okay, next news article. Company. Here we go. I forgot this one. Nova Scotia company not guilty after elevator motor fell on worker's leg. Apparently, there's no evidence that shows Vertical Transport Elevator Consulting was responsible. I wish there were more judges that had common sense like this, that just didn't cave into the frickin' legal system and how it could be twisted and turned and all that crap. Because at the end of the day, man, it's so easy to prolong stuff. It's insane. So, we should be more common sense on this, or had more type of mediation type situations. Okay, elevator floor level leads to freak fatality. This happened in Singapore, the Independent reporting. Holy crap. What's even more terrible, I shouldn't say more terrible, what's even worse is that there's a photo of this wheelchair, motorized wheelchair, that actually has the back wheels hanging off the back of the lift. And then what I'm assuming is the guy who died, the 77-year-old who died when his cart fell back, unless it was reenacted, or I'm like, oh my gosh. Talk about things to post online and things not to post online. But apparently the elevator was not level with the floor. It was misaligned by about 6 inches, 15 centimeters. Man, or 25 centimeters, which is pretty far. And he fell back, hit his head. Unbelievable. Scary as crap in a freak accident. So, yeah, I don't know how something like this happens. It just seems like... again, in a different country, you got to just be careful on what you're doing and where you're right. And it just regards anything for that matter. So, last news article of the show: Long Island Railroad Walton Station getting major upgrade. Hold on a second here. Something's going to pop up. I just know that. In New York, ground has been broken on nearly a $24 million modernization project at the Long Island Railroad Station in Wantagh. I know I didn't pronounce that right either, so correct me if you like. So that's good. The most, includes accessibility upgrades, which probably are long overdue, and hopefully they come under budget on that project. So anyway, well, that's gonna do it for the show, everybody. Sorry to cruise through that, but I've gotta change my pants. Gotta go do that. So everybody, be safe. Looking forward to seeing everybody on tomorrow on Thursday for the second annual CEA Scholarship Fundraiser. Thanks to everybody who is supporting that. Enjoy the Pop Joke golf outing in New York, and we'll be back next Wednesday before the Memorial Day holiday. So everybody have a great rest of the week. Be safe, and we'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye.